Welcome back, guys. So it wasn't a good feeling yesterday for Nigerian under 20 national team. That's the Flying Eagles, as they were defeated in their first group game encounter against Burkina Faso in the WAFU B games competition. It actually started yesterday with the opening game, involving these two countries. But sadly, the Nigerian Flying Eagles lost that one by a lone goal. It was a very cagey game. To be honest, first half was played 0-0, and then Burkina Faso found the net in the 50 something minutes into the second half. But again, it's a really disappointing one, especially when you consider that the Flying Eagles are supposed to be one of the favorites for this competition this year. They're actually the defending champion because they won the last one. But again, this defeat is not the end of the road for them. They still have like two games to play in the group, and they're going to start with Ivory Coast, where they will hope to bounce back. The competition is currently being played in Togo, so we'll see how that one turns out. It's a relatively small competition involving two groups, and the next round or the next stage of this is the semi-finals, and the first two teams in each group will be the ones to qualify into that round. And for Nigeria to qualify, we have to at least win the remainder of our games. That's two games to max out our chances of qualifying. But we'll see what happens. Of course, the guys are going to regroup again and hope to work to correct their errors and then prepare better for the game against Ivory Coast. Well, moving away from that, just we have one man that almost became Nigerian Super Eagles head coach, Bruno Labbadia, coming back now to to reveal why he actually rejected Nigerian Super Eagles offer. Of course, I'm sure you recall, that a few months ago, NFF announced Bruno Labbadia, a German coach, as the new coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles. Even before he took up the role, then it was alleged that they had an agreement and they had an understanding, which was why NFF moved quickly to announce it. But this man has now spoken to Build, which is a very popular media company, and what he has told them now as the reason why he decided to reject the offer is really shocking and confusing, because he has said that it's not about money, that it wasn't his decision wasn't about money. And this is kind of contradictory, because what we were told at the time was that the deal broke down between he and NFF because NFF were refusing to pay the taxes that he was demanding NFF to pay to the German authorities, which was a really huge tax. I think it was up to 40% of his entire salary. So that was effectively what made the deal broke down, as it was circulated at the time rather. So, but now the man has come out to say that it wasn't about the taxes, it wasn't about the money. That the reason why the deal broke down it was that it was because NFF announced him as the coach even before he came down to Nigeria to take a look at the team, take a look at the structure and everything surrounding surrounding the Nigerian Super Eagles. In his words here, I might have to read it out. He said, "I wanted to go abroad. The basic requirement for me was to visit Nigeria and see everything on site. However, this became impossible after the announcement. It was no longer about the pay. There were various organizational issues that made things problematic. Then the situation became more constrained, and I didn't have 2 days left to meet with the national team. That's when I decided to pull the plug because I increasingly felt uncomfortable." So this is what Bruno Labbadia has now said as the reason why he decided to not take that job. Apparently, he's talking about organizational issues here. Maybe he was talking about the whole NFF structure, the way they tend to not maybe support coaches or pay salary on time to coaches, all those sort of things. Maybe that's why maybe that's what he means here. But again, I'm going to leave it to you. Do you think this man is being truthful? Because obviously we know that money is a huge factor for all of these coaches. But let me know what you think about that. And then moving on, guys. Today is a weekend. Of course, you know what time it is. Nigerian Super Eagles players will be out and about repping their different club sides. And speaking of, our players, we have a number of, uh, teams that will be showcasing our talents. In the EPL, we have a number of clubs. The likes of Fulham will be playing later this afternoon around 3, and their matches against Aston Villa. And of course, you know that Iwobi and Kavembasi are two brilliant players that play for Fulham side. So it's going to be interesting to see, how these guys show up for their team and make some impact. Again, the guys actually rejoined their team after that whole saga at the Libyan airport, where they were locked up for more than 15 hours. But the good news is they actually settled, and hopefully they'll make some return into the pitch this afternoon. And then also we have the likes of Wilfred Ndidi, who's going to hopefully be showing up for Leicester City. Not hopefully, I think he is a must, because he's always been a regular for this team. So Wilfred Ndidi will line up with Leicester today as they play Southampton the same time, 3 p.m. And then also, for Southampton, we have the likes of Joe Aribo, who could potentially be making uh, his first start for Southampton this season. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, they're going to really really impress all of us this weekend. Ola Aina and Taiwo Awoniyi are two players that we also expect to make some strong appearances for their Nottingham Forest. But their game is not today, it's not tomorrow. It's going to come up later on Monday night, 8 p.m. And their coach, Espirito, has given some updates regarding these two players. Especially in reference to what happened in Libya. Espirito, actually condemned what Libya did. Holding Nigerian Spikes hostage for several hours. But he also confirmed that Nottingham Forest actually wanted to reach out. Not that they wanted to, they actually reached out to Ola Aina and Taiwo Awoniyi when it became very, very dangerous, and then talked about how, the club was going to come up and rescue them. But, in the end, it's just so happy that, these players are finally back, and they trained really well with the team. And hopefully they are going to make some strong appearance this Monday. But we also have a number of games that are going to be played in the German Bundesliga, and then this game will be the one between Bayern Leverkusen and Frankfurt. It's going to be played at 2:30 this afternoon, and of course, you know what time it is. Victor Boniface is going to be looking to continue his good form with club, this afternoon, and I expect him to start because he's been starting, lately for this club. Of course, because he's been scoring the goals, bringing in the assists for Xavi Alonso. But it's going to also be interesting to see whether Nathan Tella is going to make an appearance. Of course, if you follow the last video, I did talk about Tella expressing his his expressing sadness that he hasn't been getting some good playing time, but maybe he gets one today. But moving away from the Bundesliga, we still have some games to look up to in the Serie A. And this game involves AC Milan, and they're going to play against Udinese. That's around 5 p.m. Chukwueze, of course, is one man that will be hoping to make an appearance. He's not been getting enough playing time, but maybe, this changes today. And again, there's been some speculation that He's actually considering his future with this club, but we'll see what happens. Maybe things will start to turn around, starting from a really impressive display today. But those are some of the updates for this moment. Don't forget to react to any of the stories, especially Bruno Labbadia and what he come out to say about rejecting Nigeria's Super Eagles. That's the update. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like for this video, and stay tuned for more stories.